Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 67 of the Detroit Metro Plug podcast, where connections matter. I'm your host, Charles McKay. This week, we bring you interviews of Detroit difference makers in the area of entrepreneurship and community involvement. So I want to thank those who are watching us live on YouTube, watching us live on our LinkedIn page, Detroit Metro Plug Podcast, and also on our Facebook page, the Detroit Metro Plug Podcast. So thank you. This is a place where connections matter and bringing you great resources. So thank you for joining us this evening. Hopefully, everyone's having a good evening. If you're watching, I do encourage you to like and share to our page, share with friends and associates. We're going to be talking about community banking, a great institutional bank here in Detroit, First Independence Bank. And so we have a representative that's going to talk about her role at the bank and what she does. Before I introduce our guest, I'm going to show a real quick clip about the bank, and then we're going to interview her, and she's going to share her role and the resources that are available to the community.
First Independence Bank was founded in May of 1970. We're celebrating 50 years. We were one of the positive outcomes as a result of the 1967 riots. After the riots, there was a desire to really try to create a financial institution that would really be initially dedicated to serve the needs of the African American community. And a lot of community activists, business leaders got together and went through the process of getting a bank charter and founding First Independence Bank.
Demetrius Hutcherson is proud to be part of a business with a rich history and strong ties connected to Detroit.
We initially were targeting and wanted to be here to service African Americans and African American owned business owners. But as the bank grew and evolved, we are a full service bank with products to serve all of the Metro Detroit community.
Hutcherson knows what makes them unique and sets them apart.
We are truly located in the respective communities that we serve. We are still located in the respective communities that we serve, and our focus is to try and really be there to service retail as well as commercial customers.
Like so many others in the community, they've had to pivot in the age of coronavirus.
We had to really be cautious and careful of making sure our staff was healthy, yet we still wanted to maintain and be open to service our customers. Given that we are critical infrastructure, we had to modify our hours and rotate staff in and out for their safety purposes, yet we still remain open to service the needs of our customers. We are doing more online activities and we're meeting the needs of the customers.
Now Hutcherson is looking ahead to a brighter future with bigger goals.
As a kid that grew up on the Lower East Side of Detroit, we have to be here to meet the needs of our customers. They want to see our bank in the community, and they want to do business with us. We are experiencing a phenomenal growth right now, and it validates the need for First Independence to be in the community and to be around.
Sandra Ali, Local 4.
All right, so that was a short clip from WDIV Detroit 4 News about First Independent Bank to kind of give you a little information about that. So I'm excited. We have a representative, a guest on tonight's program who's going to share about First Independence Bank, her role, and the services they provide. So our next guest has over 16 years in the banking industry. She currently serves as the Assistant Vice President, Executive Project Manager, Director of Mortgage Lending Operations at Independence Bank. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome to the podcast, Detroit Metro Podcast, Helda Saad.
Hello, how are you?
Great. Thank you for your time. So we're going to get right to it. So just share with our audience your role and some of the things that you do at the First Independence Bank.
So my name is Helda Saad. I am the Assistant Vice President, Executive Project Manager, and Director of Mortgage Lending Operations at First Independence Bank. I've been with First Independence Bank for 5+ years. I just celebrated my 5th year anniversary actually in January. And what I do at the bank, I actually handle a lot of the projects of the bank as an executive project manager. I do a lot of financial education. We do, as a bank, we do, we're in the community working on programs to help the community, such as the Bank On program, which is the first choice checking to help the unbanked and underbanked become open accounts. Those are the kind of projects we work, down payment assistance programs that we have as part of our, to help with people who are in the process of becoming homeowners, that are renters that are becoming homeowners. So those are the kind of things I work on. I also help with expansions into the other markets as well, like what we just did, and we expanded into Minneapolis. I also am the director of mortgage lending operations, so I handle the day-to-day in and out functions of the mortgage division as well.
Okay.
They're static, so you're breaking in and out, Charles.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Now a little bit. Go ahead, try it again.
No, I was saying your hands are on various projects at the bank, so you have a lot of responsibility.
It's fun. It's different. It's fun. I like it. You're entertained all the time. You're never bored. You never have nothing to do.
Now, I want to go specifically. You handle financial education. So, how's that? How's that served in the community, or what are some specific financial education services that First
So
Independent?
I just did, and I apologize, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just did at Wayne State on President's Day, I did a financial education. They had a class where they had us come in, and I went in and I talked about the importance of credit and how to build your credit and how to maintain your credit and how to fix your credit. Those are the different things and then I've done some at University of Detroit Mercy. We usually, whenever we get a request to do financial education or talk about credit, we're also in partnership with Operation Hope. And so Operation Hope helps us also do at our 7 Mile branch some financial education workshops as well.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. So you help people on education, as far as fixing their credit, uh, building credit, and now I do want to ask. I know it's a black-owned bank, but why should people start an account there, or bank there, or do their, or if they have a small business to have their account? What would you tell them?
So what makes us unique is that we are a bank, which means we function like big banks, but we're also a community bank, which means that we function like a credit union. So you have that personal one-on-one interaction. When you come into our branch and you open an account, the next time you come around, you're going to be addressed by your first name. They're going to know you, or by your last name, however you like to be addressed. And then they're going to talk to you and they're going to have conversations with you. So you really get that personal one-on-one interaction. And then we also have the technology to where if you're not a banker, you don't like to, or a person who likes to go to the bank and you're a busy person, that we have the online technology to where you actually can do anything online and everything online.
I like what you said. You say you're a big bank, but you guys function like a community bank, like a credit union. That's awesome. I have a lot of entrepreneurs who watch this podcast, small business owners, new business owners. What specific services you guys offer for new entrepreneurs or small business owners?
So like any other bank, we offer obviously the checking accounts, the savings accounts for businesses. We also have various lending programs for businesses as well. And we're just launched another a loan program right now for small businesses that helps new businesses and businesses that are existing. So you can always call our branches to get more information on that. And so if you're interested, I will leave my information. You can always share it with your audience. I'll leave and I can always refer them to the right resources.
Okay. Is there certain things you look for a business that's trying to get resources from you guys'
That's a great question. That's a good question for a commercial lender. I'm actually a residential lender.
Okay,
You're more than welcome to ask me on the residential space.
All right,
but
okay.
Yeah, but from a business commercial, you would need to talk to a business banker or a
Okay.
commercial
Okay.
lender.
Okay. All right. All right. So your specialty is more in the commercial, or the not the commercial, but the housing mortgage.
Residential space, yes.
Residential. Residential. Okay. All right. That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any special initiative that First Independence is doing to increase home ownership in the Detroit area?
Absolutely. We just launched a program where we're actually giving $7,500 down payment assistance. It's actually gift
Mhm.
money. So it's not a, it's a grant, like, so it's money. We won't put a second lien on your house or anything like that. It's money that's being gifted for you, and it's down pay, it's towards your down payment and your closing cost. It's up to $7,500. So whatever it is that your closing cost, all you have to do is put in $1,000, because you have to be vested, obviously, right? You have to understand the meaning, and then we will help you with your down payment as well.
Okay. Now, what is there? You have to attend some classes to in order to
Yeah,
get
there's a
that.
down payment
that
assist.
grant.
Yeah, there's a down payment assistant class that you have to take. What you do, it's, and again, we give you resources to where you can attend them. It's literally a couple of hours online. You go in and you get a certificate. It's a certification. And then on top of that too, not only do you have that, but you also have, we also just launched the HOP program, which is $10,000 down payment assistance as well. But that is forgivable after 5 years.
Oh, wow. So you have two programs for down payment assistance. Now, is this for just certain counties? Is it just Wayne County, Oakland County, or just, or
So
is
it
there certain
depends.
zip
It
codes?
depends. No,
Okay.
it's open. It's just open to the low to moderate income space.
Oh, low to moderate. So it's based
Yeah,
on a person's income, not necessarily a geographical area.
for the most part, yes. And then also
Okay.
too, that first time home buyers is very important. So,
First time home
and
buyer.
just so you
Okay.
know, if you were a homeowner and you haven't been for 3 years, then you're qualified as a first time home buyer.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. That's awesome. I know we have a short amount of time. I want to give you a chance to share what is some of your main expertise uh, that you're passionate about, that you function your role that you function at First Independence Bank.
So, at First Independence Bank, I do a lot of various projects. I work and I love what I do. I love what I do at First Independence Bank because I work on so many different projects. Some of the things we're working on right now is making sure that we eventually become a technologically savvy bank, and
Okay.
then growing the bank and making sure that we are there for the community to serve the community. You
Mhm.
know, it's part of our mission, right? And so those are some of the things that I also find that getting the one advice that I do give to everyone is that when you're in the banking space, get to know everything you do about. So the bank is not just coming in making a deposit, right? It's not just checking and savings. There's so many different functions in the banking industry. So there you have loan operations, you have, deposit operations. There's so many. There's treasury management. There's so many different functions in the bank that people get to know. And one of the things we do lack is employment in that industry, in the
Right.
African American, space. And so I would love for people to understand what different functions we have in the bank and what kind of things we do and what kind of opportunities we may have.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Um, if you could um, give one phrase or one word to describe how you guys conduct business, what would you say to our audience?
So I'll tell you how I conduct business because I obviously
Okay.
learned it
See how
from
you
my employer, right? So I
can.
love working with compassion. Honestly, I
Uh-huh.
honesty, integrity, and most importantly, I love helping others.
Okay.
My attitude and behavior will always show that I'm diligent, and I also work. I'm hardworking, so like I'll work endless hours only because I'm willing to go to extra mile. I want to make sure that everybody at the end of the
Yes.
day is content and happy with the banking industry. And the reason is because I want to make sure that there's less and less unbanked and underbanked people out there. So
Mhm.
if once you meet one good person, I hope to be that person
Right.
that changes that perspective, right? Because
Right. Right. Right.
because we all, yeah, right. So like you understand, that putting that one positive feedback might change someone else's perspective. So I make it an effort to make sure that I am that positive one.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. As we wrap things up, I don't know if there's any announcements you'd like to share on the podcast or programs. You did mention about the 7,500 grant for first time home buyers and the other 10,000 grant. Is there anything you think our audience need to know?
I just say in general, we carry a wide selection of, of products and services to help our community. Come check us out. Ask whatever it is that you're in need of. If we don't
Okay.
have it, we'll work on making sure that it's available, right? So please come
Okay.
and talk to us. Talk to a banker. Come talk to us. Let us know what you're looking for, what you need help with and all of that, and we'll make sure that we get it. And if not, again, I'm going to share my information. Please feel free to
Yes.
email me and give them my phone number, and I'll be more than happy to address them in the direction that they're looking for. But we are here to help and to make sure
We're
that everyone is linked.
yes. We can include the email and a contact number. You mind sharing your email with our audience?
Not at all. It's Can I put it in the chat or no?
It won't show up. I'll put it in the
Oh, okay,
description
okay.
later. But if you want to share with our audience,
Absolutely. So it's H Saad, and that's S as in Sam, A as in Apple, D as in David, at
mhm.
First Independence, and that's the
Oh,
whole word spelled out, FIRSTIndependence.com. It's a little long.
okay, and I'll have that available in our description for doing the playback.
Perfect. And I'll
Oh,
also
all
give
right.
my phone number. My direct line is 313
Mhm.
256 8441.
Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, folks. So Independence Bank, check them out. If you're a small business, or even if you're looking to purchase a home, first time home buyer, and our guest gave her direct line out. So if you want to email her or contact her, if you have questions, we want to encourage you to do that. So,
Just
Hilda,
please
I
make
really
sure you
thank. No, go ahead. Go
please
ahead.
make sure you include in the subject line from Charles McKay's
Oh, your
podcast.
podcast. Yes. Please include in the subject line from Charles McKay's podcast, the Detroit Metro Plug podcast. So, Hilda, I thank you for your time. I know you got to go. You have another a meeting to get to, but I just want to say thank you for your time and what you're doing in the community. I met you at the National Micro Loan Conference, and you spoke there, shared, did some special workshops for people and consulting. And so I just want to say thank you for your service. And this platform is about celebrating the contributions of local Detroiters and what they're doing in the community. So I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me at the Detroit Metro Plug podcast, and I'm actually honored to be here. Thanks, Charles.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right. So that wraps up our podcast for this evening. Thank you for those who are watching us live. We appreciate that. If you find value in what we're doing, I do want to encourage you to like and subscribe to our channel, share with others, and we really appreciate that. And so I'll see you next week with another Detroit Difference Maker on the Detroit Metro Plug podcast. And you guys have a good night. See you next week.